laughter on the midnight air. Grouch is crackling codes without a care. Rob's antenna reaching everywhere. Hamtubers on air once a month, you know. Yeah, live streaming those adventures, it's a show. ISO throwing signals high and low. Marvin's got that frequency glow. Salty wall with tales of static gold. Antenna tales that never get old. Every frequency a story told. These airwaves hotter than any bull. Hamtubers on air once a month, you know. Yeah, live streaming those adventures, it's a show. ISO throwing signals high and low. Marvin's got that frequency glow. Waves crashing, stories passion, airways full of passion. Dial in for the action, every month it's satisfaction. Hamtubers on air once a month, you know. We're live streaming those adventures, it's a show. It's a show. ISO throwing signals high and low. Marvin's got that frequency glow.
All right, there we go. We're live.
We were all holding our breath, weren't we?
Yeah.
Marvin's got a lot of frequency glow.
Yeah, man.
Yes, he does.
Uh-oh.
Hey guys,
Hey.
There he is.
Perfect
There you go,
timing.
Walt.
What's going on, Walt?
there you go. What's going on?
We're just getting started, brother.
I was literally minutes ago down at the Virginia Beach ocean front, and then we just hauled butt home, and here I am. So I'm sweating. I ran up the stairs, put some glasses on so I can see what's going on. Say, hey, what's going on, fellas?
Not much. How bad was it on 20?
I didn't get on. I was at the ocean front with my wife. They're building a new Virginia Beach. Going to have the first one in the United States. It's called a wave garden. It's one of those surfing pools that they make the waves. Like for surfing or whatever. So we went down to just kind of. They're almost done. We kind of see where the construction's at. I'm getting pretty excited about that. It'd be kind of cool.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah,
Very
so I gotta lay off the clam chowder and all that stuff and kind of lose some weight so I can paddle out there on a surfboard and.
Nice.
Awesome. Oh, well, Paul, you better introduce yourself, because you're not. Yeah, there's probably some people in the chat right now are like, who is
What?
this clean shaven, misbehaving? What's up, Paul?
Yeah, well, it's funny because Jason's in the chat and he says, "Damn, you shaved the rest of it." So I
Clean shaven.
posted.
I think it froze him. He lost his beard. He's frozen.
Yeah, I posted a picture to the channel members this morning. I didn't realize how bad a job I had done of shaving the little side pieces. And so I get up this morning and I look in the mirror and the right side was really short, the left side was really long.
It's like a
just-
blind man cut you.
Yeah, it was really, really silly looking. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna fix it because there's no fixing it. So we'll just go baby face for a week and then we'll let it come back.
How long do you think it'll be before you start seeing like how do you grow? Like within a week or two?
Yeah, I would say probably 6 weeks. It'll be about an inch long all the way around.
So by 24-hour POTA in early September, that puts you about 4 weeks away.
Less than now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It'll be coming
I
back.
cannot hear Paul. I can hear everybody but Paul on my end. That's strange.
You don't hear me at all?
That beard, I guess that beard
Yeah, I
really
guess-
does add 6 dB gain.
Take away the beard, and all of a sudden you can't hear me.
Yeah. How about you, Michael? You recuperated from last night?
Yeah, I'm fine now.
Ah, didn't sound like a confident.
Yeah.
Izzo, how long did you stay up?
Um, last night, no, actually, last night I think 11 o'clock.
Because you were with us for a little bit. I think we went
I
to
was
what,
with you
2
right to the
o'clock?
end. No, I came in late. I was with you right to the end. I think I was with you right to the end. I think.
Oh, wait, what didn't we clear out at like 2 o'clock? Or
Oh
no,
no, no, no,
that
no,
was
no,
like midnight.
no. All right, so I definitely left early. What
Okay.
happened? I came
We definitely
inside.
didn't go till 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were. I think we were hot till 2. Yeah, it was a long, hard night, and 3 of these full of rum kicked my ass. Oh, it was a harsh sleep. But Mike, it was fun, and like I said, I hate you for throwing the $20 in there every time we needed to get a drink.
It's all good. It's all
It's-
good. How about
it's-
you, Izzo? You been playing radio today?
No, I played antenna today. So what I had to do is because of the lack of rain here, I didn't want to burn the grass, but I also didn't want to, listen, this is not a golf course either. So, but it was about 2.5 weeks. It was time. The yard needed some serious manscaping. And then I've got this TN07 antenna that was supposed to only be for the winter. And now it's August. It's still up. But I really didn't like where it was.
Hmm.
So today, after doing all the manscaping and doing everything else, I got my butt out there and I moved the antenna around to the other side of the property over here. And I'm playing with this. Where do I want it? Where do I want my signal to radiate? I'm playing this game. So, and then my QRP Labs rig came in.
Ooh,
Yeah.
new toys to play with.
Yeah, 3 whole watts, I think, or 4 whole watts. I saw the spec sheet, but I don't care. I'm gonna have fun with this thing. The microphone came in. The microphone came in last week, and this and that. So it's one of these things where I think maybe after this stream, I may just plug things in just to kind of see where we are. I was on DXE and a few other sites looking at where we are in this whole solar storm right now. It's a very interesting. 20 meters shows to be pretty good right now. Excuse me. I don't
20
really,
meters this morning was dead.
was
Was
dead.
it?
It was, yes.
Oh my god!
According, that's what I said. I'm just going to cut grass today. I'm going to do all the trimming. I'm going to get it all done and everything. So I said, I'm not, because the intentions were to get out on 40, see, at least a couple of days ago until Tamantha Smith report came out. Saturday morning was supposed to be 40 meters in the morning at one park, do a couple things, and come back, and then go out Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening for maybe even do a late shift. I forgot about this stream, so who cares, right? I was thinking maybe can I do this from out in the field, but with the storm raging. But right before we went live, again, it's showing 20 meters to be pretty good. Solar winds are still pretty high. The K index is still pretty high, but sometimes, man, as you know, you can look at graphs and numbers all you want. You got to turn on that radio. You got to turn on that radio because those graphs could be anywhere from 4 to 6 hours old, and they're predictions, not what is happening right this second. So, if anything that we've learned, turn on the radio, right? Turn on, and if you don't hear,
100%.
and if you don't hear something, throw your call out a few times. It's not like it's lotto tickets and you're going to lose. Who cares? Throw your call sign out.
Yeah.
You never know.
I get up every morning here through the summer. I get up every morning, put it on 50.125 sideband, and just go K4OGO standing by listening. And every sixth, seventh day, someone will come back to me on 6
Yep.
meters. You know what I mean? You just got to throw it out there. It's the same way with HF. You know, it
Oh
just
I was
Mhm.
the first thing, Walt. The first thing I sometimes I do is I want to listen to WWV. Can I hear WW? I have this checklist, a punch list.
yeah.
Can I hear WWV? And of course, during different times of the day, you're going to hear it louder anyway. Versus then on 40 meters, the guys up on 7.2 is it 250. You guys know what I'm talking about? 255, 250.
yeah, I know what you're talking. Yeah,
I forget those guys. I'll go down to 7.200. How well am I hearing those guys?
you got you
You know,
if you're those
I
guys, you're doing it, man.
yeah, no, you
200
hear
index.
those guys, you know the bands are good.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's right.
um, then I'll go, then I'll play around. Then I'll look at the MUF, see what the MUF is showing. It's very interesting, but like I said, I'm always I don't want to say skepticism, but I always take it with a grain of salt. What the apps and what the web is showing us
Yeah.
versus what you really hear. So
100%. Yeah.
so
Yeah. I don't. I go out when I can, but I don't let the solar storms discourage me. If that's the one day I can play radio, I've gone out in them before, and I've seen what a struggle it can be, and I think that's helpful when you understand those conditions or whatever.
Yeah.
Because what goes through your mind immediately is like, am I doing something wrong? Is it my antenna? Is it my coax? Is my radio not working? And you psych yourself out. So it's helpful to find yourself in those situations and stuff. But it's helpful for a guide sometimes. It might discourage me from trying 10 meters or 12 meters or something, depending on what I see with the conditions. I might be like, okay, I'll stick with 40 or 20 or whatever. But if I know things are good, it's like, okay, yeah, let's have some fun on 12 or see what happens there.
I
Yeah.
gotta tell you a story. This was a stupid moment, and I learned. This is one of those things. Just when you've done this a million times, but you make that one mistake. The storm was doing pretty, but it was up. Solar winds were in the 500s. The K was like something crazy, like a 4 or 5, pretty
Mhm.
much where we're probably got right now. I go out, set everything up, and I'm hearing nothing. And I'm like, this is crazy. And the tuner is loading. The keyword, the tuner is loading. It's doing its job. I'm hearing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm on the POTA website. I'm trying to listen to a couple guys. I'm trying to listen to I'm doing my thing, right? Uh, And now I'm getting frustrated. I said, "Is it maybe I have a bad piece of coax? This and that." Well, you know what this dumbass forgets to do? He forgot to, to hook up the feed line to the antenna at the stake. Well, no wonder why you're not hearing anything. Is boom. As soon
Loading
as
up
I
your coax.
We've all done stuff like that though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That just
Yep.
happens.
hey, listen. I still struggled to make 14, 15 contacts, but the point is at least now I know my system is working. The rest is all Mother Nature at this point.
Right. Right. Well, on top of that too, we're in the summer doldrums. August
Mhm.
always sucks. I mean, from right now, especially as we're peaking in the solar cycle, mid to late July through August, maybe right into the first week or so of September is, I mean, the E layer and the D layer are cooked during the daytime. I mean,
Good
it's
point.
just forget
Point.
it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. You're like 20 meters maybe. It's going to be the noise
Mhm.
floor is going to be crazy. About September 9, 10, 11, middle September, 10 meters is going to start opening back up. You know what I mean?
Well,
We'll
yeah.
get out of that. That's just every year, no matter, regardless of solar activity. So
Yep.
Good point.
I'm ready for September. There's
Yeah,
that
right.
song
Same
with
too.
it. Remember that song from the 60s? I'll see you in September. That's what I'm singing right now.
Mhm.
Frank,
Well,
you're singing some Frankie Valley right there.
Yeah, it's in September. There you go, baby.
I'm looking at my radio right now, and I'm sitting on 14275, and my meter is just barely bumping with noise floor.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it is like super quiet, like no noise whatsoever.
20 meters is a nighttime band right now, man. I'm telling you, it really
Well,
is.
a couple of the nights it's been going long.
Yes.
the last couple weeks, and then we got this new storm, and it just wiped that little pleasure
Yeah.
boat right out.
Guys,
Yeah.
have you noticed, and I haven't really tracked it on a piece of paper. I kind of wanted, then I got lazy with it. It seems like a week before the storm, 3 days before the storm, band conditions go great. Flux
Yeah,
goes up, sunspots go crazy. Storm comes in, and then it just seems like right after the storm, conditions get so good, but we're also busy not doing it, or maybe a very,
or
very few
working.
are yes, it's weird. It's very, very weird how, and unless you got the time, you're retired or whatever, and you can kind of just grab your stuff and go.
Mhm.
I say once that storm starts to dissipate, get out there, man.
Yeah. I
It's
agree.
amazing.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's funny here too. You guys, well, we're all on the East Coast here.
Mhm.
When it's been a lot of thunderstorms up and down the coast right now. We got that tropical storm that just kind of breezed off away
Mhm.
from us or whatever.
Mhm.
I could cut the radio on and listen to the storm. You can hear it, the lightning
Can you
strikes,
really?
everything else,
Okay.
Especially
right
on
through the
40
windstorm.
meters or lower. You can
Yeah,
just
yeah,
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's speaking about the evenings, Jeff had a comment that I've noticed. Yeah, 20's been odd. And I
Been very
mention this because tomorrow, short plug for Kevin K0KLB, who does the QRP SSB net. It's been a struggle. I've set up and I haven't been able to check. I've barely been able to check in like the last month or so on 20 meters from New York to Iowa or to Steve in South Carolina, and he's got a beam.
yeah.
He'll swing and point up here. It's like been such a struggle the last month or so. But then Jeff's pointing out, and I've hearing it from others that later at night, 20 meters is doing just fine
Early
on the
mornings
East
too.
Coast.
I
Yeah.
get up at 3:45, Mike, and at 3:45 in the morning when I get up, it's
Yeah.
long, man. I can talk. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's
Yeah, it's been crazy.
I
Awesome.
always like when 20 meters is open at night.
I miss 40 meters. I'll say it. I miss
I
it.
like it.
I miss the bottom of the cycle, and 40 just kind of
Opens
again.
up.
Yeah, from my house, go to the north into Canada, go south into Georgia, no problem during the day, Michigan, Ohio. Then all of a sudden, it just creeps a little bit more towards the Mississippi, but
Mhm.
there's that dead stop where I can't even get into like Nebraska. Iowa gets a little tough sometimes. Oklahoma gets tough. It's weird, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like the whole different. It's like going out. It's like going out for dinner. Do you want to eat steak every single night? You got to have a little chicken. You got to
right.
have a little fish, man. After a while, you just can't. It mixes it up. So Mother Nature likes to mix it up
Hmm.
with us.
I
I,
like I like 40 in Europe. I don't like 40 in the USA. I don't say I don't like it, but I'm not. It's just not one of my bands. In Europe, I loved 40 because you think about the span of what 40 will do, daytime and nighttime.
Hmm.
I could talk to other countries. Here it's just, I guess because I'm an American, he's just a couple states away. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Been there, whatever. So
Yep.
to me, it's kind of strange. 40 meters. The problem I have with 40 meters too, especially like in the mornings when I'm out on the beach, it's wall to wall nets. You got to sit there and wait and check in and wait and whatever. Dude, I've got like an hour. I went out there. I got to talk, man. I want to hunt and bang, bang, make some contacts and move around.
Hmm.
So that's the problem. Maybe for Poto on 40 during the mornings, but for just general, spinning the dial, hunting up and down the band, 40 meters in the United States is just, for me, too many damn nets. Whereas different, like, very different in Europe. I know Tim's on here; he'll tell you it's a very different band over there.
so Walt, let me get. I'm. This is just a guess, okay? And of course, you can tell us about the antenna. You're sitting in Poland on 40 meters. Is England, Ireland, Scotland, is that like from Virginia to like if you want to go north to like maybe
Yeah.
me where I am?
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just trying. I'm
Hmm.
just trying to do this imaginary line of like a
All right. No,
360.
it's a great question. From where I was at in Poland, so I'm all the way up on the Baltic. So I'm only 160, 175 miles from the bottom of Norway and then Finland,
Okay.
and then Sweden. I'm getting my geography messed up here. And then down, so in the daytime for me on 40 meters, I've got that. I was working the bottom lower end of Scandinavia, which is only a couple hundred miles away, over into Germany, which is a couple hundred miles away, then back around and over into like Belarus and in Ukraine, and that was it. But at nighttime, I mean, 40, I mean, I worked the States in the nighttime on 40. I was working, DX there, but daytime, 40-meter daytime in Europe is kind of, it's no, I mean, physics are physics, but operating there was kind of cool because I had that,
Yeah.
that about two to 300 mile circle around me. I could start working the UK on 40 from where I was at in Europe usually about later in the afternoon, and it also depended. I mean, I was in Europe off and on for 2 years, so it was kind of different as the seasons went by too.
Mhm.
Tim G5TM, I worked him a couple times, and he was out portable. I don't know if it was 40. Tim, you might have to tell me 15 or 20 or 40, but I worked him a few times, and from Poland in the daytime, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I know. I think he was just. I think Wednesday, he was saying he was going to be out late on 40. I had my club meeting, so I wasn't able to
Yeah,
get out. But that would have been fun because I've gotten DX in the evening going from New York to Europe. That's easily doable with a dipole or a quarter wave or
right.
whatnot. So hopefully, it's one of the things I haven't done a lot of late shifts this year, and it's frustrating because one of my favorite parks nearby is a state forest, Rush Oaks, and they put a couple years ago they put in a newer parking lot, just kind of pull over off the side of the road, but it's nice. And um, then when I went a couple months ago, they had put new utility lines that run now 20 feet right above the
Oh,
parking area, and the parking area is parallel to the road, so it's not like I can't escape the lines. So I can't I can't put a 17-foot whip on the car. I used to use my 33-foot mast, and I'd go and I'd set up a 40-meter dipole or a 40-meter off center fed, and I do late shifts on 40, 60, 80, and it'd be great. I'd get some nice DX into Europe on 40, and I can't do that setup there. And I just mentioned that because with that's one of those few parks that it's a state forest. It doesn't have hours. The forest doesn't
Yeah,
close. So I could easily go there 10 minutes, 15 minutes away and work the bands at night. But now I'm like, it's like you're limited to a hamstick. Um,
wow.
because you can't really get too far outside of the parking area and it'd be a lot tougher when it's this time of year and it's all overgrown. In
right.
the winter, there might be some options. And if you saw it, you know what I mean. But yeah, I was just when I saw those lines, and I was very grateful. I noticed I went there and I saw it during the day, because if I went for a late shift, I might not have even thought to look up and see that there were lines there. I don't know if I would have even seen them if it was at night. So, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
100%, 100%.
Yep.
But it's interesting, man. This is my favorite topic, talking about just portable and
Yep.
conditions and what bands we're operating on. I mean, I love it. And like I said, this is not the month for HF. I mean, for DXing is not,
Yep.
and where we're at in the solar cycle, especially. But I'm excited. This is going to be, I think, from about mid-September all the way back around till next
Mhm.
summer. We're at a spot now on solar cycle. 10 meters it's going to be epic. I just got that feeling. You can just see. Like
Yep.
Izzo was saying, I look at the muff map like all day long, every day. You know what I mean? I watch it, and I know I've been watching how how it's been going as far as over days and then days. You watch it right now. If you watch it each day, you can see it getting a little bit bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the 21 on the 21 line's going a little higher and a little higher and a little higher. So
Yeah.
But
yeah,
Walt, you know what I don't understand though, and tell me if you and the other guys here, and maybe those in the chat are seeing the same thing. If you look at the muff, call it what it is. Okay,
yeah,
let's say it's saying 21 megahertz, but then you go to the POTA website and everyone's sitting on 20 meters. Okay. And I remember
Mhm.
one time, this happened about 2 weeks ago. I'm fooling around on 15, and I heard a guy calling CQ. Fine, I'm gonna bang him, put him in the log, right? I think I was 21, 22 contacts in. So who cares, right? Now you're gonna start having a little fun, experiment, right? Beautiful signal. Where is he? He's in Iowa. Okay. How much power are you running? He says, maybe about 90 watts. I said, are you running some kind of a beam towards me? He says, no, just 100 watts in the wire, basically.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, why isn't everyone else using? And this band is, we got so much spectrum sitting there, and no one. And then 20 meters is crowded. Every 3 to 5 kilohertz, everyone's pounding themselves into 20 meters. When you got 15, and if you look at the muff, it was actually correct. I mean, well, if you want to use the word correct, but it was
Yeah.
relevant to, we can make contacts if not halfway around the country, maybe all, coast to coast, maybe, but yet we're not utilizing it. It's such a, come on guys, get off of 20 and come join me on 17 meters. Come join me on 15.
Yeah. Then you could get the band police on 17 meters saying it's a Walkman. You're not supposed to. Then you could have some
It's not a
fun.
contest.
Yep, that's fun.
But then all of a sudden you get somebody from Spain or Italy on 20. Like, come on, guys. It's like I think people forget about 15 meters for some reason. I
I
don't
know.
know
That's
why.
every
I don't know what the
afternoon.
psychology is.
Like I'm working from home now, so my shack's behind me here. My computer for working's there. I'll cut the radio on while I'm working and just check the bands every once in a while. And every afternoon, right, even right now, I'll look at the muff and it says 21, 22, go to 15, and I'm hearing
Mhm.
people on 15. But it's what really frustrates me is like the other day I heard a guy in Germany, and I heard in the afternoon a guy in Germany and a guy in the Azores, and they're on the same damn frequency, and there's no one else on the band, the whole
Mhm.
band, and they can't hear each other. I'm
They
trying to
can't
answer
hear
either
each other.
one. So I'm just throwing a Kilo 4 Oscar Golf Oscar, thinking, oh, it's the lottery, man. One of them's going to hear me. You know what I mean?
You have a 50-50 shot at one.
That's right. And thing. Another phenomenon that I discovered when you talk about the muff while I was in Rhode Island. So, Izzo, how New England is right there when you go out on the rocks and you're right on the water. And I was at one of the points on the beach, and
Mhm.
I look at the muff and it said like 21, like 15 was open. That was it. 10 wasn't open. But I got on 10 meters and just spun around, and I'm hearing like Brazil and Argentina, and these guys are sat there. I mean, they're like 5'7", 5'8", and they're calling CQDX, CQDX, CQ North America, right? And I'm like trying and trying and trying and trying, and they're not hearing me. And I'll be honest with you, and I know I preach this all the time, but when I'm running like 20 watts and I've got what I know is the antenna that's going to do the wonders for me
Mhm.
right down on top of the salt water.
Yeah.
If they can't hear me, I'm like I'm like something's wrong with my radio. Something's wrong with the antenna. I've never had a problem with someone not hearing me. Now pile up, I'll just bang through the pile up until finally I'll get through. But if there's no pile up and the guy's calling CQ and I'm coming back and he's not hearing me, something's wrong. And I got to thinking, I went back again. I'm looking at the muff. It's 21, and I'm up on 28 megahertz. And then I hear him. He gets somebody. He goes, "Yeah, I'm running a kilowatt, with a 6 element da 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 da." And I'm thinking, okay, that makes sense. He's punching right through with all that power, and what he's doing is the reason why I'm hearing him. And unless the ionosphere opened up for me to where I could bounce it back to him,
Yeah.
that's why he's not hearing me. You know what I mean? Because of the muff, the maximum usable frequency for me isn't there. But it's the phenomenon that I said is that I could hear him coming back. So his skip or whatever his last skip must be where the muff was okay, and then he's coming down to me, I guess. But that was crazy. And it's the first. I only experienced it in Rhode Island, and I experienced it 3 or 4 different times on the
Hmm.
beach in Rhode Island. Never had that problem here.
Rhode
He's
Island
out
for
kicking
me
his
is
coverage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Rhode Island's, because we were out there last weekend, and one of my favorite parks is called Fort Beavertail, and it's in Jamestown. Go right down,
Hmm.
beautiful lighthouse, big, huge park. used to be where the cannons were to fight off the British. The bunkhouses are all still there and everything. Absolutely crazy. And I found this open area away from people. And it's funny you said that, Walt, because sometimes when I peek up on somebody, my radio's showing to be an S9, and I'm calling them back, they're not hearing me. And if I get that frustrated, if this Italian Pollock over here gets really frustrated, you know what he's going to do? I'm picking up that garden stake, and I'm going to be taking that end fed, and I'm going to be moving it into a different direction.
Right.
And for some weird way, sometimes I have noticed if I'm not 100% peaked up on them. Now I don't know. Is it timing, ionosphere, Mother Nature? I don't black man call it whatever it is, and I wish there was a solid answer I can get. But if he's like a 5.5, 5.7, all of a sudden he hears me right away. Is it coincidence that I moved the antenna when versus hearing him full scale at 5.9, 20 over when you think he should have heard me, right? He should have heard me, and nobody else was calling him either. He's just calling away, calling away, calling away. It's. I mean, sometimes I'll do anything just to make a
Yeah.
contact, But I don't know. Sometimes I don't understand. After doing this for 30+ years,
It's the magic, man. It's the magic of radio. I
something
love
will
it.
always surprise me, man. It's like, okay,
What I found interesting is I've always been able to talk to Florida from here, and within the last couple months, like say Julia and Vaughn are down there, I can barely hear them, but I'll hear myself come across their stream, and I'm 5.7, 5.9 banging into the radio, and I can't hear them.
Yeah.
Like there's something goofy, and it's only
funny
been
you said that. Funny you said that because POTA Power to me too, and the other guys, John Martin and a whole bunch of others down there in Florida. I'm struggling to work them.
Yeah.
But then I go to the SDR and I pick like Utah, and maybe I shouldn't be picking Utah, but I'll pick and all of a sudden, my audio, I'm there. I could hear myself, and I could hear them, but why? How come they're not hearing me? Right, Mike? That's the whole. How come
Yeah.
they're not hearing me or whatever?
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll swing the orientation of my antenna some other direction.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm kind of facing. The end of my end fed is north is this way, so kind of east northeast.
That's what I did today. I'm no longer going north to south. I think again, according to what my compass is saying, I'm purposely shooting this thing at 310 degrees. I want to try. I'm between 300 and 310. I want to see if there's going to be a difference. But then again, how do I really calculate the difference because propagation is forever changing, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, POTA
It's
Power. They
right.
could be at one. They could be at one park doing one. I don't know what they have. It's not like this is a controlled environment between two.
It's their antenna too, though. You don't.
Right.
Obviously, it's more their antenna than yours. What if he's doing an infed or whatever?
Yep.
What angle? What does his big magical cloud of RF look like? You know what I mean?
Good point. Good point. Good point.
Hey,
Yeah.
K2AUB had a question. How does
Yes.
changing bands work for POTA? Do we change?
The-
Go to the POTA
there's a couple-
website and spot ourselves?
Oh, somebody unstarted.
I don't think there's a definite answer to that.
So, changing bands in POTA, if we're talking about the activator, if you have access to cell service, data, internet, if you can respot yourself, what I do, and again, with POTA, it's all up to the activator and what your personal preferences. Activate how you want to activate. If you want to go out and you don't want to spot, then don't spot. That's up to you. I want to give people an opportunity if I can to work me. So if I have access, I'll spot myself. If I'm going to move, I'll usually go to the POTA page if I can, and I'll mark QSY. I might put QSY to another, to 40 meters if I'm going to jump from 20 to 40 or something. I might put QSY, QRM if it's because I'm getting QRM now or someone's moved in nearby. And whatnot. But if you don't have access to it, you can't do it. I've asked people or told people when I'm going to QSY say, hey, I'm gonna jump to 40 now. I don't have cell service. If someone wants to respot me or look for me, and if people are listening, and sometimes hunters will work you and they'll still listen to the activation, and I've had that happen. So I mean, it's kind of up to you, but if you have access, I think it's best to indicate on the POTA page that you're going to QSY, and then to update it with a new
Yeah.
frequency, a new mode if you're changing mode. But we've all been to parks where we got crappy service. You can't spot yourself easily, and I know that there's apps. I got a toy with the Sodamat app or whatever. There's a couple apps that you can use to spot yourself without cell service and things, but sometimes, like when I'm out, I just got like an hour or whatever it is, or it's if I'm on a road trip for work, I'm swinging by a park on the way home, and if it doesn't have service, it doesn't have it. It is what it is, and I'll make the best of it. So it's our favorite answer in ham radio, right? It depends.
It does.
You'll against me, and listen, I don't please hunters. I love my hunters, but when I'm getting ready to wrap it up and somebody respots me, because you can see the time, and then when I say last call, and they're still respotting me. But hell,
Mhm.
man, I don't care. I'm gonna work everybody, unless for some reason it's pouring rain.
Yeah.
The ranger says, "Come on, it's time to go, Izzo," or whatever. Unless it's really crazy, I will stay, and I want to work everybody. And because I don't know, listen, it's not a contest. This has never been a contest for me. But
Yeah.
I am superstitious about my numbers. It's like gasoline. I don't pump 13 gallons. I don't pump $13. It's just I don't do sixes
Yep.
and 13. It's so for POTA. Once I get past 12, I don't care. I want to. This is really about having fun. If someone needs Connecticut or if I'm in Rhode Island, I mean, I don't care if I'm using a different antenna or I'll take that end fed and I'm going to push up one end and maybe almost make it into a flat top. Let me see. Let me see if there's going to be a
Yeah.
difference here and everything. And the hunters, I need my hunters. You need the hunters to make it happen and everything. But to
I like
Michael's
to go out and activate and just hunt. I'll knock out 10 hunting. I do
Yeah.
that a lot of times when I'm out. The beach I go to is US 1299. I Every time I activate, it lasts 2 or 3 times to start calling CQ. I guess because I'm a YouTuber, people know who I am or whatever. I get the keyovers, the laughing guy. It's somebody doing like I feel like I'm on 7200 or something. It's
Yep.
ridiculous. So it takes the fun away. So you can't find me if I'm hunting. You know what I mean? I just do it and hunt and do it that way. But yeah,
That's been happening to POTA Power, and it happened to Mike the other day, and I chased the dude off. Mike
You're
was
my savior.
yeah, Mike
He wasn't being rude about it though. He just didn't
no,
hear me. I was 5
oh,
watts QRP, and all of a sudden I hear somebody say, "Is the frequency in use?" And I was like, "Yep, frequency's in use. I'm doing an activation. I'd love to get you in the log. What's your call?" Then I hear, "Is the frequency in use?" Like, I guess that means no. And he starts calling CQ20DX, CQ20DX, and fortunately Michael was listening, and he jumped right in, and
I
the
was
guy's
like,
like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't
I'm
hear him."
like,
that's the
dude,
guys.
there's a POTA on QRP, dude. Go someplace.
Those are usually the guys too that are running a lot of power and have a beam and all
Yeah.
that. And they're pointing a different direction and they're just
Yep.
is what it is.
and you're catching them off the side or whatever.
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah. No, but thank you, Michael. And I know that hunters and those listening in have done the same in situations where I've been out QRP or other operators are out QRP. And, sometimes people just, they don't hear you, and it is what it is. And it's always nice.
Mike, it's going to happen,
Yep.
right? It's
Yep.
going to happen. Listen,
Yep.
we see this on ARRL June Field Day. How many
Mhm.
times? You
Yep.
know what I mean? It's going to happen.
Yep.
It's when it happens intentionally, which is what we don't want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
There's plenty of spectrum for everybody. That's all
Yeah.
I know.
Yep. And I'll just say with that activation, I'm glad I snuck it in when I did. It just I had a window of opportunity to go out and play radio for an hour or so, and on the way to the park, I was like, you know what? Kevin's doing the, trying to encourage people to do that 5 watt challenge and the 1 watt challenge and just see how many contacts you can get in an hour running 5 or 1 watts. I'm like, you know what? I'll do it tonight. This is a good time. I'll try 20, and if it doesn't work, I'll switch to 40. And I got 52 contacts on 5 watts
Yeah,
in
my ham alert
less than
just
an
started
hour
blowing up with Mike. I was like,
on
what?
20 and 40.
What is he doing, man?
Yeah. And it was just a lot of fun, and it was one of those things. We've those of us who activate, you still have a little bit of anxiety, like, oh, am I going to get my 10 contacts in or this or that? But you go out and you do something like that, and and when it's successful, and it kind of shows you, like, oh yeah, no, you can go out and you can operate with a decent antenna, a decent setup. I was using a quarter wave vertical. You can get out and you can make contacts and not ideal situations, or with not ideal power, and you can still make it work. It might be a little bit more of a struggle, might have to be a little bit more patient, but 52 in an hour at 5 watts is, I mean, that's great. And I've done them at
That's
1 watt too.
phenomenal.
So not today, but yeah.
No, not today.
Yeah.
I love it when they say it can't be done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted, because I sit in this spot right here. I pull out the 705. I take a small little pad with me, and I'll work anywhere, whether it's POTA or just some guy calling. And nothing is greater than when you tell them, yeah, I'm running 8-10 watts, and well, you're only 5.5. I don't care if I'm 5.5. There's some people are
Mhm.
really particular, probably a lot with VSWR. I don't care, but to me, I wish as a community we would get off this looking at the meter.
Yeah.
If I can hear you intelligently, I don't care what the meter says. You're 5'9", but some guys want to know that they kind of live
Yep.
on it like it's the gospel. If that's who
And
you
and the
are.
meter, I can make the meter read whatever I want to with my RF gain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Thank you, Walt. Right,
Yep.
exactly. But still, it's amazing what you really can do with 10 watts. Yes, some guys are going to tell me it's amazing what I can do with 500 watts or 1,000 watts. You're
Mhm.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Do 5 watts to the Netherlands.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like I always say, you don't know unless you try. Like RF around and find out. Go try. Go see how things work or whatever. I'll have a video coming out. So here's the shameless plug. I'll have a video out this week, probably Tuesday, but maybe Thursday, on a pair of HTs that a buddy loaned me. They're cheap Radtel things, but they do 9 ham bands. They do 17 meters. They're HTs that will do 17 meters up to 900 megahertz. Obviously they're cheap and dirty, but I was doing the power tests, and I was showing that these things are putting out just anywhere from like 10 to 50 nano watts. 10 to 50, these are nanowatts. So this is
yeah.
like 0.0001 milliwatts. And
QRPP.
I brought them. Yeah. Oh
That's
my gosh.
QRPP.
And so I'm like, I don't even know if I'm doing this right, and I shared some images with Ape, and I was watching some of his videos on how to do some of these tests, with a tiny SA. And my VHF club does a picnic and a tune-up clinic, and they have all high-end equipment for VHF and microwave. And then we were hooking it up, and we're doing some of the, like, man, these things aren't doing anything. They're not. They're barely. If it's putting anything out, it's not registering and stuff. But you'll see in the video, they're making transmissions, and you can hear them on other radio, on 900 megahertz and stuff. And it's just like, you can only trust the meters and other things, like in the textbooks, so much. Sometimes you just got to get out and you just got to do it on your own and just see, it's
I'd like to put one of those on my service monitor and see what it actually does.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking, Mike. That
That would
probably
be
a
pretty
good
cool.
way. Yeah. But at
And
the
then
end of the
see how
day, a
much of an
contact is a
amplifier we need.
contact.
Yeah.
See how much of an amplifier we need for that thing.
Yeah, no, and like they'll only do FM. So I mean, if you really want the POTA police, start doing FM on 17 meters, and see how quick that they show up to the park. But it's a neat concept, and it'd be nice to have HTs or some other receivers that do some of the, it'd be nice to have more HTs that maybe do 6 meters. This will put out a few watts on 6 meters FM. That's cool. That could actually be useful and fun. It'd be nice to have more options. It's just you need better quality control or filtering and stuff to make sure that they're not going to be causing interference and they're going to comply and stuff. But anywho, I'll get off that horse.
Hey, I got a question for the group.
Thank you, Jason, by the way. Thank you.
Digital Rancher, and I think Josh Nash has this HF. It looks like a HT. You guys know what I'm talking about?
The
Yeah,
Elecraft.
it's that USDR version. I had one.
What do you guys know about it? What does it go for? What's the power? I got like and I haven't really taken the time to go to the Google and start looking at it, watch some videos if I can find it. What's the give me the
I had one, and maybe I just got a bad one. I don't know, but it was like the biggest piece of crap that I've ever. And I hate to say that because it may be a great radio, and I just got a bad one. That's the thing with Chinese radios, man. It's like which one did you get one that was built at 4:55 on Friday afternoon by guys ready to get out the door, or did you get one? You know what I mean? It's
right,
like
no.
you just don't know. But the one I had was garbage. It was not that good of a radio.
From a cosmetic standpoint, it looks so cool. For some reason, we're so used to something, horizontal.
Yeah.
And this thing, but then again, but I don't know. I got enough radios right now to keep me busy, so I'm gonna stay away.
I've got radios that I haven't even done videos on yet that I've got to play with. I've got that ZBitX. I've got that. I need to get. I just got a mic for it. I'm ready to go. I gotta get that going. But yeah.
I got a CB. If I turn my head, I can see it over there that I need to start playing with more. I'm
October, man. October.
And I'm studying different options for antennas and stuff. I'm gonna at some point just to give you a heads up, Walt, in case you need to take some heart meds or whatever. That I will try a mag loop with the CB just to see the mag
It's a
loop
great
on
idea.
11
No,
meters.
that's cool.
And,
that'll be interesting to see how you do.
I won't do it on a beach, but like I will definitely try it out with the mag.
I've got a new mag loop. I haven't. As a matter of fact, I've had it since I got it when I was in Rhode Island. The real beautiful like double mag loop and 2 Echo 0, and I can't remember the rest of his call. He builds them over in the UK.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've got one, but the problem is the way the band conditions have been. What's going on? It's like I'm just waiting for fall and autumn to get here. You know what I mean? So the band conditions get better. I'm gonna get out with that. John Gendron gave me. I've got. I'm going to put up 2 verticals, in phase. He gave me the whole phaser setup. I've got that going on. Question earlier, Jeff Fuller said, "Hey Walt, why don't you try, a 2-element with parasitic or 3-element parasitic?" I've got all that planned. Just coming. Just gotta. We need the sun to calm its butt down a little bit, and for the conditions to get better. If I'm gonna get out and start making those antennas.
What are guys talking about in the chat about a new Yaesu radio?
Yeah. Oh, I can pull up some of the info. Yeah, the new Yaesu is coming out.
Is it the FTM 310 or something?
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see here.
Share.
That's a share screen. So let me pull up.
Just curious. HF, VHF, UHF.
A VHF, a dual band. What this is this is going to fall in between the 150 and then the 510. So it's going to have C4 FM, Wires X, APRS, but it's going to look a lot like the new 150 that came out not long ago. Let's see.
Oh, please tell me it doesn't have that micro mini screen.
Let's see here. Where is it? Pull it up. It is listed on Gigaparts. I know that. So I got the PDF up on it.
Because last night I was watching John Kirk. I forgot whose channel it was.
I saw that.
He was on Coffee and Ham Radios on Thursday. He didn't mention it, and then it came out. It started to leak on Friday.
Okay, no wonder why. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if this works. All right. Is it showing the Gigaparts website?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And so this is it. I believe they got 2 versions listed. like they did with the 150. There's a 150R and then a 150R ASP. The ASP having the Super DX or whatever, the speech processing stuff. So you can see it looks just like that.
It looks
But
like an old school Yaesu radio.
yeah, but I think the key is, and I don't know if the highlight will show up. There's APRS, GPS built in, and then it's going to have the C4 FM digital. Um, I haven't done anything with digital modes, and I have a couple D-Star radios. I've never done it, so I don't know much about that, but that's kind of it. That there's a lot of the details from everything listed down there, and
So it's just
I'm guessing with
another
Huntsville
2
coming
meter,
up that
70
this is
centimeter radio.
yeah, yep, yep,
What's
and
the price on it?
Because we need
I've
another
seen
2 meter, 70
5 to
centimeter
600.
radio.
So
Yeah, exactly, right, Paul?
all right, now how do I? If I close that, did that?
Gotcha.
Hey, it says you're offline.
Nope,
Oh,
there.
wow.
I'm still learning this stuff, man. But
It's all right. I'm here to help.
yeah.
So is
But
Paul. Don't worry
it
about
looks like they're you're taking what's out there now with the mobile with the 150, which looks and sounds great. I was real close to pulling the trigger and buying one not long ago. But and you're adding to it. You're adding GPS, C4 FM, APRS, some of that stuff. So it's nice
I've
to
got-
see new radios,
I've-
and it
Hey,
looks like
Mike,
they've just
I've got the 500, and it's got all of that stuff, and it's
Mhm.
got the speaker on the front of the head.
Yep.
So I mean, that was the only thing that sold me on that radio was the audio quality from the speaker, because unless you want to run a speaker up, you've got my rig freaking radios in the back.
Mhm.
But what's nice is I can run that speaker and that speaker. So, I've got really good awareness of the audio coming through, which is nice.
Mike, I don't know if it's a second thought, 'cause when you think about now where we are with vehicles and remote heads, you would think the ham community's equipment would have more speakers in the heads, like
Oh, yeah.
like the Motorola's
Yep.
of the world and the old Vertexes of the world. It's just like what happened. Did somebody like design it and not think about it, or was there a price? Who knows what the reason, and we'll never find out through the R&D process. Because I know I'm struggling right now in my brand new vehicle. I'm moving my speakers around. I thought everything was good, except for my Motorola for public safety and a few other things. My ICOM and my other stuff. I'm moving my speaker.
Yeah, Marvin was supposed to be doing an install yesterday, and I got stuck with honeydew list, so that's why I was on the stream last night. But he was calling me, asking me about the new F-150s and how to place wires and stuff, because it's part of my business, what I do. And I was giving him hints and kinks. And then he's like, "Can you come over and help me?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm like freaking busy this weekend," and I apologize profusely. But yeah, installs on some of the newer vehicles. I know we're running into on the commercial side, putting a radio in a vehicle that has ignition control. You have to be careful with all the new body control modules and voltage issues. Even if it senses a slight voltage issue off of a fuse, plus or minus, even though it's not, it's just a trigger for ignition. If it sends a computer all stupid. So we're trying to figure out how to work around that with ignition controls. So it's not fun in the commercial world either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I've been, and there's a question in the chat, so I'm just gonna kind of address this. I've been overthinking all year what I want to put in my car for some VHF, UHF, and lately I've just and I've been looking at like the F1 or the FTM 150 from Yaesu, and and whatnot. But ultimately, I'm thinking I might just go with a cheap Chinese radio like an Anytone or a Tivis and put it in, because at the end of the day, when it comes to operating mobile, I don't really do that much. I have a very short commute to work, and when I'm on road trips for work, I have to take a rental car, and so I can drive around town with an HT that's been in my car for the last couple of years and hit the repeaters if I need to, or whatever. But it'd be nice to have something. So I'm leaning towards just a simpler, cheaper, mobile install that I can easily just plug into one of the DC power jacks and have 20 watts or so, which is more than enough to hit the active local repeaters and maybe monitor 5.2 and stuff. If I'm going out contesting, then I'm bringing the 705, and I'll bring my Icom mobile, or a couple others if I, for more power or more flexibility. But I might, I don't want to overcomplicate things. Is kind of what I've started to lean towards for something that I might not use much. Although maybe I haven't been using it much because I don't have much to use. So, who knows? We all overthink things. I can't be the only one.
There's a 5100. There's a 5100.
Nice.
Yeah.
Of course, when the new Kenwood comes out at some point, who knows? All bets are off. There just aren't a lot of tri-band antenna options, unfortunately.
That's what with my permanent mobile setup in the Jeep is the QT80, and then I have it's a 3/8 inch socket mount in the back on the back spare tire thing up there, and I have from 10, 11, 12, 15, 17, 20 ham sticks in the back. I'll just like interchange them if I'm going along. Like the cool thing about I did the mod on the QT80 is that if I'm on the road and I want to listen to what's going on with that, I can use it on 11. But if I like I drove across the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel, which is like a 20-mile bridge across Chesapeake Bay, I'm like, what a cool time to go, see if I can work some DX. I've worked DX on 15, like just mobile with a ham stick. I've worked it on 10, just driving across the bridge with water underneath me. It's kind of cool. So that's what I do for my setup. But I'm just like, when it comes to 2 meters and above, I should say, or whatever, I need to get my game together. I'm a fanger. That's about it, because I live about a block away from our repeater, for our local repeater. I could get that with like you said, like 100 milliwatt radio or whatever. It wouldn't take much for me to do that. So I see what you're saying, having it, having a HT in the car. I know when I drove, not this year, but last year, when we drove to Dayton from Virginia Beach to Dayton, with my Jeep has a fiberglass top. So I just had a little Baofeng, and I just put it on, the calling frequency with it 145, whatever it is, on 2 meters. And man, it was like traffic all the way up Simplex on the highway, all the hams going to Dayton. That was pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah. When I've gone out to Dayton or on some bigger road trips and I'm in my car, then I'll have a ICOM 880H, which is one of the older D-Star dual band radios. That'll do 50 watts. And I'll just put that in, put a mag mount on, and hook it up to a battery, and it's good to go. If I know I'm going to be on a road trip and calling out regularly, then sure, I'll do that.
Wonder what it'd be like. I'm taking the train Labor Day weekend up to New York City. I wonder if I could. I guess I've seen it done. People riding on Amtrak, talking, hitting repeaters, going up and down the coast. That'd be fun.
Yeah, Hayden did that.
That's right. That's where I saw it. Hayden did it
6 years ago. Yeah, when he was riding across the U.S.
I might do that. My son and I are going to see Oasis at Meadowlands, so I was like,
Okay.
that'd be a cool trip. And we're taking the train, so it was like, it'd be kind of neat.
You could probably, if you have like a cabin or something, and we're willing to try, you could pull like, and this would be like, something that Simon or Ham Radio Rookie would do. You could probably, on a window, you could put copper tape. You could put
Yeah,
a 2 meter antenna
like a
right on the
dipole or
window
something.
and just
Tape.
like hook it up or whatever, and then when it's time to go, just peel it off. And
I'm riding coach, man. The cheap
okay,
ticket. It's not that long of a ride from here to New York City, something like that. But that would be fun, yeah.
I could actually see that. I got to go handle my dogs.
all right.
I
I
don't
just
know what the
looking at
hell's
the
going
clock
on.
and realizing we're coming up on, or just past 8. I figured we'll start to wrap things up. So, Paul, you've been quiet.
I've just been enjoying the conversation. You guys are talking ham radio stuff, and that's great. No, I was curious though, Mike. One, you're wearing a great shirt, but do you not have a permanently mounted 2 meter 70 centimeter radio in your vehicle?
I don't. Nope, I haven't.
Oh,
And
okay.
the 4 years that I've been a ham, I just have an HT in there, and my commute to work is like 15 minutes. And being a COVID ham, I was working from home the first couple years that I was a licensed ham. I wasn't even going anywhere. And as I mentioned, when I do travel, it's usually, if we're going on vacations, it's in my wife's car, or if it's for work, I'm renting. And so there hasn't been a big driver for that. When I go out, and if I'm going to do a POTA on 2 meters, or I'm going to go VHF contesting, then I'll put all the stuff in there. I'll hook it up to batteries and set up really good antennas and everything. But I'm finding there's some challenges with the Subaru Outback that I have, as far as limiting where I can put antennas and what size mounts and what kind of mounts I can use. And I think that's a general problem, probably with a lot of the newer cars in general. Unless you're getting
Because you're not a lesbian.
yes.
He doesn't drive a Subaru.
Yeah, but I work at a university. I fit right in. But
That's right. So
yeah,
when you're in the parking lot pulling up to the other Subarus and
I
they're
know.
over there having a doobie in their Subi, you're like, hey, how you doing? You're like,
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't have anything permanent. I will this year. It's one of the goals, the resolutions for this year. So I will, and that's why I've been overthinking it for a while. And I almost bought one a couple days ago, and then that new Yaesu, just the rumors came out. I'm like, oh, now it's back to like, do I buy once, cry once, and go all out and spend a lot of time and money and effort into something that maybe I use a lot or maybe I don't, or do I just put something in there to put it in and look at it as a learning process?
Dude, buy an FJ Cruiser and you can put any radio in there you want.
or Jeep.
Mhm.
No, Jeeps. Bleh.
When I go on the beach, I drive on the. I do a lot of sand driving up on the beaches in North Carolina. I've actually pulled a couple FJs out of the hole, so it is what it is.
All right, are you coming up to New Hampshire there, Walt?
I would like to. My schedule is crazy. I'm going to be. I'm going. I'll be in Huntsville this weekend though. Anybody else going to Huntsville? No.
Yeah.
Paul's going.
I'm leaving
Paul's frozen on
tomorrow
my
at noon.
screen. I can't hear him. I'm like, you hear me turning it up when he's
You're
talking.
frozen on mine.
Yeah, you're
It's
you're
your
frozen,
network,
Lonnie.
dude.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, but
I
Paul
think
will
I
be
forgot.
down
I forgot. I live off of an iPhone, and I forgot to put on Wi-Fi. So this whole thing with me has been 4G. So I apologize.
there. That's okay.
Yeah, no, I've been just getting ready to move out because I'm leaving the drop zone tomorrow at noon, and I'm gonna go 4.5 hours south. Doesn't even get me out of the freaking state, and I'll overnight at a Harvest Host, and then I'll do the other 5.5 hours on Monday. Leaving the drop zone tomorrow at noon, and I'm gonna go 4.5 hours south.
Awesome. What else? So Izzo, start to wrap it up. What you got going on this coming week?
Kids are going to college the next 2 weeks, so
Oh, that's right.
I got one going up early because she's in the band, and another one his freshman year, and then this house is going to get quiet. So, uh,
Nice.
I got a feeling the supermarket bill will be drastically reduced.
Oh
Hot,
yeah.
the use of hot water and towels in the wash machine and all that, but it's going to get real quiet. And it's going to be sad. Jennifer and I, we were talking about it. As much as we love them, we want them to go. We want them to get their life going. But man, we're going to be we'll spend a day crying or half a day, and but I got my radio, I got my cigars, I got you guys, so but that's what I got going on for the next couple weeks, and just playing some radio, man. If I can squeeze in some radio stuff, we'll we'll do that stuff. But fun to be here, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. How about you, Michael?
Gonna go. My plans for tomorrow are do a quick video on the 300 amp hour battery system in the camper, and I need to install. I'm gonna riv nut it in the 3000 watt pure sine wave Renogy inverter, so I don't have to take the generator up to New Hampshire. I figured if I got 300 amp hours in there, I can run Izzo's air conditioner all weekend long. So we should be good to go. And I'm trying to figure out why my 2.5 pound terrorist here was crying outside my door. I have no idea what was going on, but she's not very happy.
Oh,
Just needed some love.
yeah.
Yeah, and literally, I have a bipolar 2.5 pound Chihuahua with 3 legs.
Hmm.
She's actually
She's
being
got a good
Just
quiet.
home.
happens to be female.
Yeah, definitely.
And drives a Subaru.
Hey, there's
Smoker
only one
Doobie.
3-legged male in my house. So, Walt, I know you're going down to Huntsville. I wish I could make it down this year. What are you looking forward to down there?
I will be there. If anybody's watching is going to Huntsville, I'll be there with the league. So Saturday at 11, going to do like I did in Dayton, a book signing. So anybody watching, you can pick up a copy of my book, Salty Walt's Portable Antenna Sketchbook here. Try not to get the glare on it. Be signing that. And other than that, I think I'm going to we're flying in. Me and my buddy, he's president of Chesapeake Amateur Radio Service, our club. We're flying in early Friday morning, and we're gonna rent a Jeep and go over to the park where all the YouTubers are at and hang out in the park until we can get in our hotel room Friday afternoon. And then the usual thing that we always do, Mike, at ham
Yep.
events, we will consume liquid and have a little bit of fun. That's the plan. I'm not looking for anything in general. I've got so much stuff now that I haven't even used and done in videos yet or whatever. I kind of I don't even think I'm just going to go there with two or three shirts, 2 or 3 pairs of shorts, and underwear and a toothbrush, and just carry on and go. You know what I mean? And quick weekend, just have some fun.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the book signing, I have one of Walt's signed books that I'll be giving away on the live stream. And I got some other really cool stuff. I know Matt from Reliance Antenna gave me a 56-to-1, a complete kit. I'm going to give that away and some other things. I've been holding off, because you tend to think oh, you got to do these giveaways when you get to a milestone or whatever. I'm close. I'm just maybe a few dozen away from crossing over 3,000 subs, but at the end of the day, I could care less about that. And we're going on a big family vacation at the end of the month. And so I might actually try to schedule a live stream giveaway for just because, I've been sitting on your book since Dayton. I'd rather have that book in somebody else's hands so they can build antennas and enjoy it and stuff. So I'll probably, try to schedule something maybe in the next week or two, just to do a giveaway, a random live stream, just have fun and and that way I can get stuff out the door before I go on vacation, and not procrastinate another week or two. You know what I mean? And kind of have that looming over. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about. That, and then trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do. I really want to get something installed in the car before I go to New Hampshire for the 24-hour POTA in the beginning of September. So that the goal is to have something in the car by then. And so
Mike,
I'll
if you don't
continue
get
the
it
overthinking.
installed, Mike, if you don't get it installed by then, I'll bring some stuff and we can do it up there.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like
Now
a
you
plan.
guys are making me
Probably
wish
got
I was still in
the-
Rhode Island. I'd love to be up there with you guys.
Well,
Yeah, I probably got the majority of whatever tools that you would need right
Yeah,
here at the
pretty much.
RV. So
Yep. And look, he's showing up late, and we're getting ready to wrap up. So, all right. Well, I think that's it. I know we're going to try to wrap it up around by 8-ish or so. We went over a little bit. I know Josh, Ham Radio Crash Course, should be live streaming now. So, and a lot of folks may have already checked out to head over there. If you haven't, go check it out. For all those who've been watching and been with us, I had a blast, and I hope everyone else did too. This was a lot of fun. I love getting us together, and we kind of rushed it this month because I know with Huntsville coming up, and then I know I'm going to be on vacation at the end of the month and some other things. It just kind of was like, hey, let's we want to do this now, or we want to wait till the very end of the month. And a handful of us are like, let's just do it now.
Right.
So, but this is fun. Thank you guys. Thank you all for being with us on the stream. Thanks for being with us in the chat. And with that, I will say a 7-3. And before we go, I here's what I was thinking about doing for the car. I was.
From the back roads of New Hampshire, rain or shine, he's calling CQ with that mobile line. Eric's got his 891 and 8-task tight. He's chasing them parks from morning to night. We're calling CQ, come join the ride. From salty shores to mountain highs, a motley crew with wire and drive, tossing antennas in trees to feel alive. Once a month we light up the stream. It's Northeast Ham Radio, living the dream. Izzo's in the woods with a stogie lit, got his logbook down and a chair that fits. But toss him a chip with that barbecue tang, you'll get a rant and the Hamburglar fang. Matt builds them tough and tunes them clean. Reliance hits like a well-oiled machine. Toss the wire in a tree, no need to prepare. 5-9 signals floating through the air. We're calling CQ, come join the ride. From salty shores to mountain highs, a motley crew with wire and drive, tossing antennas in trees to feel alive. Once a month we light up the stream. It's Northeast Ham Radio, living the dream. Salty Walt's got tales from the ocean tide, with a sailor's grin and that coastal pride. He wrote the book on waves and wire, a Rhode Island soul with a northern fire. If it's broke, Rob's the guy to call. He'll tear it down and rebuild it all. With a scope, a smile, and zero fear, he's the reason half our rigs still cheer. The grouch rolls deep with a pack and a plan. Sky above, ground below, mic in hand. From jump zones to parks, he's living it loud. Still grumpy as hell, but making us proud. We ain't perfect, and that's just fine. We miss a few